Hey y'all, I have not abandoned you. Welcome back to my channel. I was on vacation last week. That's why I didn't put up episode 4, but we are back. All right. So, this is going to be pretty quick. I didn't really write too many things down here. Pretty quick episode. We have a new artist. Her name is Nychelle, and she's supposedly doing like a guest artist, but it looks like she could possibly actually become a replacement for Crystal. I feel like, to be honest, like the way that he's treating Crystal and Rock, I feel like he's just trying to be a big bully and like take what they created. Yeah, they started it at Black Ink, but unless it's in a contract, there's no reason why they should have to give him a piece of what they're doing in order to move forward. Because like they said in the last episode, which I just watched before I watched this one, so it's fresh in my head, Bay has her own shop. This girl says she has her own shop in Dallas, Texas, and she's part owner of a shop in freaking Atlanta as well. He's not gonna ask her for part of what she has, even though she might be joining them now. He don't ask Bae for none of that stuff because he knows who he can mess with, and he's just trying to mess with them because he's mad at them and he's being super petty. That's the way I feel. Like that's why the things that happened to him ended up happening to him, because he pissed off so many people, you know, and just trying to take something that somebody else is building from the ground up, and they trying to like start their family and, you know, build and whatever else. And it's like he's trying to talk about, oh, he needs to be like trying to be act like he's trying to be part owner, talking about, oh, I could come next to you guys, build a blackinkcrew right next to you and pretty much take over. Like, why are you even trying to do that? You already have enough shops and you just had to close one of your other shops. Like, come on, you're not doing as well as you think that you're doing. So anyway, that's my thoughts on that. Teddy's father passed away, unfortunately, and it's crazy because he's been talking about his father so much and how he wanted to reconnect. That's why you can't wait to do certain things, because nothing is promised. Tomorrow's not promised. So if you want to do something, you gotta like make your moves and start going towards what you gotta go, because especially with older folks, like you can't wait forever, because you waiting forever, anything can happen. You know, illness can strike at any day. It waits for no one. It doesn't say, oh, I'm gonna pick you today or you. It just happens, you know. And so it's sad, but now he'll never really be able to connect with his father. He just has to go off of what people have said. And his grandchildren will never get a chance to meet him, you know. I'm talking about Teddy's children when he has children, maybe with this girl, Yoki. Kwani, she did her Reiki session last episode, and she's trying to like really connect with herself and get some self-care in, which I think is great. And now she's actually doing like a life coaching session as well. So she's really trying to elevate herself, although she feels like the Reiki session really didn't do too much for her. I'm gonna check out that spot because I see that it's out in Jersey. So I'm like, I wonder how far it is. It look kind of cool. I like how they had the salt cave and stuff like that. And, you know, it's just like a real Reiki person. I'm into all that stuff. Like, you know, I'm real spiritual. So I would definitely give that a shot, you know, if I get a chance to, if it's not too far, because I ain't trying to be driving forever just to do that. You know what I'm saying? Like, there got to be other events, other things I'm going to do, not just let's do a 20-minute session and then go home after driving for hours. So we'll see. I'm going to look into it. But she did mention how she sabotages herself with limiting thoughts, limiting, you know, ideas and ideologies that comes up and, you know, almost like defeats her. It tells her that she can't do something, or she may start something, but then she doesn't finish it. There are so many of us, especially women, that go through these types of things. But the key is definitely to replace the negative with positive, with affirmations. And that's something, when I did go through something traumatic not too long ago, that was something that I had to do. And I'm also a CBT coach practitioner. So that's another thing that we also try to help others with, is removing those limiting beliefs and replacing it with actual facts. Like, this is what you're telling yourself, but just because you're telling yourself that doesn't mean that it's true. You may say like, oh, I'm the worst person in the world, but why are you? What makes you feel like that's actual facts? what is it that you have that can support that idea that you're the worst person in the world? And what are things that actually take away from you feeling like those are facts? And those are the ones that we want to go ahead and continue to thrive off of, continue to affirm and say on a daily basis, And when those negative thoughts come into your mind, you just go ahead. I could go, y'all. I could go. I tell you, this is my thing, yo. But I do feel like, a life coach is great. I also feel like she should, maybe perhaps she should see a therapist as well. That might also help. But if some people, they're better off with life coaches than therapists, or they feel like they like that non-traditional route. That was something that I learned when I did my relationship coaching classes, was that some people, they'd prefer, instead of doing a relationship counselor or therapist, they would prefer to do or couples counseling, they would prefer to do relationship coach sessions. So, sometimes it just feels better to not feel like it's traditional, like you're seeing a shrink or whatever it is. And the people like myself are much more personable. They've gone through things. They have lessons that they've learned throughout life, which is why you're able to help others. Bucks, he's doing a sickle cell awareness event, and he just got like really overwhelmed about everything. And he's been in pain for years. Seems like a very sensitive person. This topic really touched him from what I can see. And he was literally in tears many times throughout the whole time he was talking about it. I have met people. I know I had a coworker who unfortunately had passed away from sickle cell anemia. And I have a friend, she's actually, as far as I know, she seems to be doing really well. We haven't spoken in years. She was pretty close back when we were high school, but how things kind of drift away and they become associates. But I know that she was someone who suffered from that, and she had to take medicine and things like that. And then there was another person I met through a former friend of mine who, he was like her husband, and he was going through it as well. He had a lot of things going on due to that and had to take a lot of medicines and things. So it is something that it's almost like, from what I hear and what I've read, because I have done medical, I was phlebotomy, as well as other things, CNA, and other things related to medical. So, from what I've read and what I've heard, it is definitely one of those things that it's almost like it's torturing you from the inside out, and a lot of times you do have to get hospitalized, as Bucks had mentioned. So it's really good that they're bringing more awareness for those that don't know about this. A lot of people know about anemia. That's something that's very prevalent in the African American community, but not everyone knows about, sickle cell anemia. So it's good that they kind of put it out there for people to know. But that was pretty much the episode. Rock, he spoke with Caesar, but I don't feel like it was really getting anywhere. I feel like he was just trying to bully him, and I don't think it's fair. It's not cool that he's doing that. And like I said, this is how he created so many enemies along the way. But that's pretty much the episode. Let me know what y'all thought down below, and I will see you guys on the next one. Laters.